What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the fourth installment of Empty Netters. I'm not joined by our usual co-host Nicky Picks, but instead, I am joined by Winter Wire. First time on the show. A proud member of the Discord. Proud member of Winter Wire himself, obviously.
Yes,
How
sir.
was your weekend? How do you feel being on the show?
Oh man, it's great. Weekend was good. We hit some parlays. For the people who don't know, me and Matty do our stuff together. But it's a real honor to talk NHL with the true GOAT of the Discord in NHL.
I appreciate it. Besides the betting, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun? Anything crazy?
Not too much. The wife's dad's in town. We're just chilling.
Just laying low.
Yeah.
Just in time for us to get rolling this week with betting, I guess. Dad's in town, so we're just gonna keep smashing that place bet button. For everyone in
You know how it goes.
the Discord who's in, I see everyone's in.
Big ups to Jack. I see you.
I missed this morning because so my weekend was spent the time with my girlfriend's family, was roughhousing with a 5-year-old who chipped my tooth. Well, I think it was myself, but I kind of chipped my tooth, and I was getting it fixed this morning. Thankfully, I got a bond. It's like right over here. I'm not going to show you guys. My lip feels like it's 100 pounds if I start talking like this. You know why? But they fixed it this morning.
You look fine. Don't be dramatic.
I'm still a little numb, but we wanted to make sure we got these hockey picks in for you. So, we love our hockey segment. Shout out everyone in the chat. Shout out Rycape, who usually has his black Wawa iced coffee or regular coffee. I don't know.
Can I take a sip of my drink or not yet?
We are going to do hot or ice.
Oh, good timing.
I have some tea in my Matt mug. Josh, what do you have in yours?
Got some lemonade. I'm still trying to wake up a little bit.
I have some caffeinated tea. Didn't want to do coffee right out of there. But we're going to get into our segment, hot or iced, with only two things today. So if you agree with it, you're going to say hot. If it's you don't think it's going to happen or you think it's crazy, you're going to say iced. Okay, That's how the game works. Know it's your first time. You're a hot or iced virgin. We're going to pop that cherry.
You're keeping it nice and simple for me with only two of them.
We're going to say I wanted to say would the Lightning get shut out again, but I don't want to say that. I'll say would the Lightning get held under 2 goals again to this Hurricanes team? What do you think? Hot or iced?
I think that even though history shows that the last couple times the Lightning haven't scored, I think it's iced to bet against the Lightning offense. Not necessarily a win, but it's iced to think that you can go into a game thinking that they won't score 2 goals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think our whole Discord and everyone in the world was on the Lightning. I did my Wawa Black this morning. Good stuff, right, Kate? Iced is right. I
you can't really say right, but it didn't happen yet.
I never thought I'd see a day that the Lightning get shut out twice by the same team. So in 2 games, they haven't scored 1 goal, and one was in a prime spot for them. I mean, they should have won that game, got completely outplayed. I think like Teravainen was out, or someone was out for the Hurricanes. I forget in the last game.
It was the guy that scored 2 goals the day before, Niederreiter, maybe.
It might have been. Either way, they were undermanned, horrible spot, terrible goalie, and you have to think Lightning right the ship. I'm gonna say ice as well. I think the Lightning score at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. Going to our next segment. Will Austin Matthews score again today? Hot or iced?
You want to start with me again? Yeah. Sorry, still popping the cherry of this. I'm gonna say that's hot. He scored every time he's played the Flames this year. He's on a 16. It was 15 points the last time we were live together, and 15 game point streak the last time we were live together, and he's had a point every time since. So I think that I'm also looking at, it's not really on my plus money plays, which we'll get to later, but I'm looking at plus 3,000 to put like $1 or $2 on for him to get a hattie.
Let's go. I absolutely love that. Speaking of our plus money picks, as an empty netter show, let me get the record for you right now. We are actually 14-22. If you were to put $20 on every single one of our plus money plays, you'd be up $58. You got big shoes to fill here, Winter Wire. Nicky Picks has been on a tear. So we're going to try and keep it cruising. You know, it's the middle of the day. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in. We're going to get started with this big slate. So I'll lead off this game. I'll let you go to the next one. But Flames at Leafs. We'll let that segue, that Austin Matthews, right into here. You guys know how high I am or how high I was on this Flames team. The bottom line is they're not playing well. And I don't think they're going to fix it soon. I think they can fix it, but today's not the day. We talked in the Discord about Leafs in regulation. That would be where I lean, and I'd probably also lean the under of 6.5, as I think this is more of a grinded out game between these two. Both these games have been decided by 1 goal apiece, both in regulation, but the Leafs are winning the series 2-0. The Flames are 4-6 in the last 10 on a 3-game losing streak, and the Leafs are 7-1-2 with a 3-game winning streak. Winter Wire, where are you leaning here?
Well, it's interesting that you said you're leaning towards the under. I think that the team's really been flying high without John Tavares really doing much of anything. He had 2 points in the 3-game set against Ottawa, and you look at Marner, you look at Matthews, they're all getting it done. So my plus money play is Tavares under 1 point for plus 140.
What was it, under 1 point for plus 140?
Yeah, basically that he won't get a point.
Yeah.
He won't get any points. Plus 140.
Plus 140. That is Winter Wire's first official plus money pick of the day, or pick of the season. Hopefully we can get that. I think the Leafs can win, obviously, without Tavares.
He's playing. He's just –
No, I know, without him scoring a point.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm going to go – my pick is the Leafs regulation. It's plus 102. Let's be safe with that one, not get too crazy. I'm going to go Leafs plus 102. That's going to sum it up for that game. Again, trying to run through this as quickly as possible for you guys, but also trying to get you guys quality content. And also my bottom lip is heavy as hell and feeling pretty weird. Sabres, Islanders, Winter Wire. Where do you think this game goes? Give us your plus money pick. Give us all you need to know.
Yeah, well, I watched the last game, and these teams really, the Sabres looked a little better than they had in the past, and the Islanders are just gritty. So I think these teams are going to take a lot of pride in allowing their goalies to succeed. I'm going with, let me make sure I get the line correct, no goals in the first period at plus 320, because I think that the goalies really showed out. I mean, there were a couple goals last time, but I think that if there's going to be scoring, it's not going to be in the first period. And I think at plus 320, it's good. I mean, if you look at the under for the period, it's at 1.5, and it's minus money. So if you like this, but you don't like the risk of no goals at all, one goal is a pretty good play. But for plus money's sake, no goals in the first period.
I think I like that play. The over-under is 5.5. More money on the under. So obviously, if you go 0-0 in the first, you're leaning the right way.
Exactly.
I am going to go, and this is an interesting pick for me. I'm going to go with Anders Lee to score at plus 235. Not in the first period.
That'd be a nice double hit.
He's leading this team in shots, leading this team in goals. I think he's got to get on board here. I was going to pick a Sabres player to probably score, as it's easier to choose between the Sabres players. But I would probably say that Varlamov keeps him in the game. And I know this game scares me because, the Islanders played this team against the Sabres right off that long COVID break, and the Islanders destroyed them. The Sabres kind of got back on their feet against the Devils. So they could score here, but I'm not going to touch the over-under, obviously, but I will take anything plus 230 on Anders Lee with the leading goal scorer and leading shot taker for the Islanders. I think it's a very, very generous price.
Mhm.
Shout out, Carey. We're going to go to our next game. This is the game of the day probably for most NHL fans, Lightning Hurricanes. Again, we talked about this in our Hotter Ice segment. I'm not touching this game. You can pay me to touch this game. I will give you guys a plus money pick for this game. But, again, I said last game the Lightning have to win this game. Revenge game for being shut out. But I don't want to be wrong, twice in a row. But
exactly.
if I had to lean somewhere, it'd probably be the Lightning just because the price is so good. But I just can't trust them. I'll let you talk about this game before I give my plus money pick. So tell me what you think.
Yeah, we were talking about it before. I think that it's kind of a dangerous game for bettors because if the Lightning get on the board, it might just start a back and forth, or it might just be exactly the same like it's always been. It's a true fader for me. I mean, there's a lot of offensive skill, and there's a lot of skill for Vasilevsky and Nedeljkovic. Last time, it looks like he's playing really well with the defenders, getting in good positions, making good plays. But I'm not, by no means am I saying to back him. I'm just saying that he is looking good, and he shut them out last time. Excuse me.
I think Vasilevsky has to get back. I mean, he didn't even play bad last game. They just played so bad in general.
Yeah.
I don't want to put a Lightning goal scorer on here, but the Hurricanes have been scoring in bunches with everyone, so it's going to be hard to pick a Hurricane to score. So I think if the Lightning have any chance in this game, it's going to be Stamkos or Point scoring. They need their top dogs to score. I don't think Stamkos is going to put in the net, but I think Stamkos passes to Braden Point. Braden Point to score. He should have scored last game. This is where he's going to score this time at plus 175. Braden Point to score. What were you thinking, Josh?
For me, I was not on the opposite wavelength because I do think that the main guys are going to have to set up the other guys, but I'm on Alexander Volkov to score at plus 410 because I think he's really besides the main guys, he's really the top pick in my opinion because in the last 3 games he has 3 shots against Florida and he had 3 goals in those 2 games. And then in the last game against Carolina, he got 3 shots as well. So I think he's really due. He's due, and he's getting good looks. And I think the team realizes that they're struggling to score. They think that the defense might shift towards other players and leave him opportunities.
That is a fantastic price. Listen, if you hit that, that'd be absolutely incredible. Plus
he doesn't really get assists. So if you could find points, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's good to go for goal with him.
Volkov plus 410. That is very juicy. Love to see it. Hopefully your first day with your plus money picks goes as planned, as we all hope it does.
Of course.
Our next game, very good game as well. Stars at the Florida Panthers. The Stars are 3-4 in their last 10 on a very big losing streak, actually, of 5 games. Let's see if they right the ship here versus this Panthers team who's 6-3-1 in their last 10 and just came off that disappointing loss to the Red Wings. But before that, we're absolutely on fire. Do you have any take on this game? I'm going to say over 5.5. And I know we talked about this before.
Yeah.
The Stars have a top 5 power play in the league. Panthers top 10. Both are top 10 in goals for. Both don't have the best penalty kills. I think if we see power plays, we're going to see goals. And I think over 5.5 is very, very generous. I think it should be a 6. So I'm going to take advantage. What do you think?
Well, this is the first of 3 in a row for these guys, including a back-to-back afterwards on the 24th and 25th. So when I dove into this game, I saw when they don't play a team twice in a row, their last 4 games, they've scored 5, 6, 4, and 7. because they scored 5 against the Lightning, and then they played the Lightning after that and only scored 1. Then they scored 6 against the Lightning, but the second time was the one that really they're not doing so well, and they lost that game 6-1. So then they beat Carolina 4-3. Then they beat Detroit 7-2, and then, like you said, they had the upsetting game the last time where they lost 2-1, but that was also the second time against the team. So I'm going to ride the trend and say over 3.5 goals at plus 140 for the Panthers, because the Stars are sneaky. There's a good chance that over hits, because I really think that they'll get 4 or 5 goals, and I think that there's a real good chance also that Dallas hangs in this game, and that we might be surprised, whether I'm here or Nicky's here, you might be surprised to say that the Stars won this game 6-5 or something crazy like that, because the Panthers went ahead like 4-1 and then just kind of let their guard down against a hungry team. But I really think that the Stars are going to fight. But with that being said, the offensive skill of the Panthers is just so good. I think that it's going to be a fun one. Yeah,
I agree. I think we see goals in this game. For the Stars, they have a lot of people who can put the puck in the back of the net. Pavelski has been a power play killer this year. Rupe Hintz has been a low-key scorer all year. Every person to score in this game is plus 210 or more. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Huberdeau to score for the Panthers, because he has been absolutely on a tear. Whether it's assists, points, I'm thinking about going. He's going to score. I want to go on over 2+ points, but I'm not sure if that's going to be where I want to go. I'll let you break the tie. It's either 1 goal for plus 210 or 2+ points for plus 205.
Well, I think that there's always a chance that a veteran like him will see opportunities for the other guys with the 2 points, and with the lines being near the same, if he scores a goal and has an assist, you'll get the same money that you would have gotten. I'd probably say the 2 points, honestly.
All right, 2 points it is at plus 205. I think that's great value. I think we see goals. So. I'm going to lock that in. On to the next one. The Los Angeles Kings versus the St. Louis Blues. I will let you give your 2 cents in on this game first.
Yeah, I mean, the Kings are on a 4-game win streak. They're fighting. I don't know. I think that I've always said in the beginning of the year to take their puck line, because they were at plus 1.5, minus 140 every time in the first 5-6 games, and they were 5-1 to start at that, before they went maybe 6-1 actually, and then they went on a little drought. For me, we were talking about this before. I really like the Kings to win, but also to put that puck line as a true lock of a parlay play, because I feel like if the Kings don't win, there's a good chance that they blow a lead, because I think that you look at their last 2 against St. Louis, they split, so it's not like they can't beat them. But I just think that's going to be a fighter, and I think they've shown that they can cover that puck line at plus 1.5, so I would go for it.
Nice. What is your plus money play on this game?
I'm going with Gabriel Velarde to score at, what's that line? Plus 390.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah, I mean, he scored in the last time they played each other, and in that game they won, and we're kind of leaning the win. So I think that he could score, but that's not the only reason. He scored their last time out. He has points in 3 straight games. He had 2 shots on net the last time, and then what's it called? Yeah, I think he's getting more comfortable, because he's obviously, as I'm sure everyone knows, he's a rookie, and he's really getting his feet wet, and he has a lot of potential. And I think that he had a shootout winner. I think he's just got a lot of confidence, and he's gonna carry that into this game, scoring a goal, maybe even his first double. But I would not bet on that, because he hasn't scored 2 yet in his career.
Yeah, I think I've seen in the comments everyone saying fade the Blues. Listen, I know I steered you guys wrong with that Coyotes play, when they really, I think it's still hurting our hearts from when they scored with 0.5 seconds left. But I think I have to agree here. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Blues won, obviously, but they're just too hurt for me. I know they're getting a couple guys back, but they're really missing Tarasenko. They're missing Schwartz. It's going to be very, very tough for them. Thomas is still in the IR. They've been getting a lot of production from their top. It still hurts, man. I agree. You can't back the Blues till they're healthy. They have been hanging in games. They were down 4-0, came back, tied at 4-4 against, was it the Sharks yesterday or whatever it was. I think the Kings can win this game. I really do at plus 148. I'm not going to touch that because the Blues are definitely the better team. But the over 5.5 speaks to me because both of their matchups this year were over 5.5. I think one game had 6, one game had 9. The Kings have scored 3 or more goals in their last 6 games, and Blues have scored 3 or more in 5 of their last 6. So both these teams score 3. You hit the over. Obviously, because 5.5 is very cheap. I like the over at 5.5. It's a very, very good price. I'm gonna make this an official play on the Discord. Kings Blues over 5.5. But for my plus money pick, I'm gonna play the other side of the coin. So we can root for both people to score here. I'm gonna go with Braden Shen to score at plus 170.
Sounds good. That's a very hockey name, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It's like or lacrosse, one of those two.
Yeah, either way, sticks and nets.
We are going to move on as we are 28 minutes in here. We have a couple games left, 3 exactly. This is one of the 2 best teams going at it. We have Vegas, who's 6-3-1 in their last 10, but lost their last 2, and the Avalanche are 7-2-1, winning their last 2. Overs 5.5. The Avalanche are minus 143. Where do you see this game going? What's your plus money pick? Are you touching it? Are you fading it? What are you doing?
These games have just been amazing to watch. I don't know if personally I didn't stay up to watch after the first period when they had a 3-hour delay on the Lake Tahoe ice, but
a 9-hour delay, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just 3 hours from when you texted me that they're coming back at midnight. But I think that who's in net? That's one thing I didn't look into. But I think that it's going to be a little more pacey. I think that they've played 2 games. It doesn't mean that they're going to score a lot, but I think that they're going to get a lot more shots on net. And if the backup goalies are in, I think that both of these offenses are going to be able to flex on each other. But my plus money play is Kadri to score at plus 260. I think that this is the prime matchup for him. If you saw, he scored in the last second against against VGK the first time they played. And if you look at the last 2 games, he's had 6 shots and 3 shots against them. So I think that he's really finding his spots against this defense, and they might be worried about McKinnon, Landeskog, all those guys. I think that Kadri gets another one in, and I think that that's actually the best of, even though I have some of them at plus 140, whatever, that's the one that I'm probably going to hammer the hardest because I really think that there's a good chance that hits.
I love that play. Again, I'm not a fan of touching these games just because 2 great teams. Still early on, can't really find an angle. I'm going to play anytime you have an over under 5.5 and you don't know if it's going to go over or under, but you can lean the under, or not too sure it's going to go over. I'm always a fan of laying some juice at a tie at plus 320, because that if you have under 5.5 and you're afraid to play the over, it's going to be close till the end. I doubt you'll see a 4-1 victory here, but I'm going to go with a tie at plus 320, as I think both teams, if it is tied in third, will just coast to make sure they get 1 point, just to stay ahead in the standings. I like your play for Kadri to get a goal, but I'm going to root for the tie here, so maybe he can tie it up in the third for me.
Maybe he can get the shootout goal.
Yeah, either way, plenty of opportunities. That is my plus money play. I'm not touching that game. Anything else, though?
A lot of people in the comments like in Vegas.
Vegas at that price looks attractive, but they do have to be tired, as Rycape says. I agree. Let's just watch. Why can't we just watch the game? That's what we're going to do.
It's a real enjoyable one.
we're gonna go with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, who can't score a goal, versus the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes are minus 160, I believe. They're 5-3 in their 5-3-2 in their last 10, but losing 2 in a row. Most of those games are against the Blues, and the Ducks are 3-6-1, losing 3 in a row. The over/under is 5, and this is where
with the 5.
It's 5, because the Ducks don't score. And my play here is going to be the Ducks team total under 2.5 at minus 140, because they've only scored 3 goals 4 games this season. And that's all I need to know. The Coyotes are actually better than their record says. If you looked at advanced analytics, the Coyotes should be scoring more than they are. They're just not finishing plays. This game can also be a 1-1 tie going to whatever. I can see this game going to overtime too, because it's a 5. Anytime you have a low-scoring game, like I just said. But I'm going to go Ducks team total under 2.5 at minus 140. That is going to be an official Discord play, most likely. He said they're ballsy. I love it. I do love Arizona today, too. I might do Arizona. I don't want to do Arizona in reg because, again, it's a total of 5. So I'm going to do that. My plus money play is going to be – see, this is where I choose between the 2 white guys and the Coyotes, whether it's Connor Garland or Phil Kessel to score. I'm going to go with Phil Kessel to score at plus 250. And what are your thoughts here, bud?
Super solid. Yeah, what you're saying goes right along with my mindset on this game. I thought that it would be either – I'm pretty much sold in my head that this game's going to overtime. My plus money play is draw after 60 at plus 325. I think that they're almost trying to push you away by making the line better than some of the other games when both of these teams have 3 overtime losses. So I think that these teams really they've been in overtime. They're comfortable. They're not, even with the losses, they're still comfortable like with a game going longer. And in my head, it was 1-1 with the Coyotes winning in overtime, not shootout. That was my gut, but by no means, like I said, we got the hockey Discord god over here. Like he's the one whose opinion when it comes to that. But with the plus money, I think that based on the analytics and based on recent history, I would go with the draw at plus 325. And you could always put that in a little sprinkle after you try Arizona in regulation, because I don't think the Ducks can take them in regulation.
I agree. This Ducks team needs to get pretty much taken down, bring an AHL team up, replace this Ducks team. They should trade John Gibson for sure to a team like the Avalanche or the Oilers, in my opinion. The Oilers would be insane. That'd be a lock for a Stanley Cup. But yeah, they have to trade him. Team should reach out, whether it's even to go hand in hand with the Maple Leafs with Freddie Anderson. Someone should. The Panthers should. I don't know. Someone should. Any team making the playoffs that knows they're going to be good for a couple of years should trade for John Gibson, because the Ducks should want to trade him. We are going to go to our last game of the night. Sad to see this end. I'm having a great time, but the Wild at the Sharks. I'll let you do your 2 cents in. I know you love those Sharks' lack of defense, but I'll let you talk about this game.
Yeah, I love their lack of defense. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think the over under at 6?
5.5.
5.5. I think that over is juicy, but at the same time, whenever I've had a Sharks over, it's always started off slow, and then it picks up. They're good at responding more than they're good at creating, like setting the tone. So with that being said, my plus money play is plus 1,400 actually for this one, because it's Logan Couture last to score. That flows. I think that the Sharks will end up winning this game, but even if they don't, Logan Couture has 5 third-period goals this season, which is top 10 in the league. I think he's tied with a bunch of people at 5 in that top 10, but I think I could tell you for sure that that's top 10, and I think that he scores the last goal, and whether that brings them to victory or it brings them within 1 or whatever, I think he gets the last goal, and it's a true dart to pick the last scorer, because obviously there's empty netters and all that, but at these ridiculous odds, you got to give it a try.
I love it. I'm going to go. Oh, I lost it here. See, I actually think the Wild can win this game. Nothing against the Couture last to score because he can. That really does flow well. But that can happen either way. I like the over. I do like Minnesota. They look really well. They look really good. Look really well. I don't know how to say this. They well paced. They seem like they flow together. They came out completely flat against the Kings after that 2-week span of no playing, and since then, dominated. But they dominated the Ducks. So I mean, how much are you gonna take that into perspective? But we can get a team total of the Wild of over 3.5 for plus 135. If I had to make a correct score prediction, it'd be 4-2 Wild. Because I think they're going to score a lot, or maybe something like 4-3. I do see this game going over.
What's the line on over 3? Sorry to interrupt you.
Over 3 is minus 117.
I think that's juicy too, but
yeah, but that's not a plus money pick. That might be an official play, but I'm gonna say for the show over 3.5 at plus 135. Right, Cape. Apparently Vladimir Putin has a put out on Panarin, as Josh told me this morning as I was on the dentist chair. Almost ruined the procedure, but that was wild.
Yeah, because if you follow basketball, it's pretty similar to an Enes Kanter story where, like, in these countries, if you're not with them, then you're against them. Like, there's political parties in America, and I get the furthest thing from political. I don't like to talk about it, but when it comes to this, like, there's no free speech anywhere else quite like here.
Yeah. I think Wild over 3 goals minus 117 is going to be an official play for me, just because the push at 3 really is juicy. We're going to do my favorite segment that I'm just adding in. It is going to be called – this sounds so like bad if I phrase it wrong. Gun to your head. You have to make one play to survive. What is your play? Could be plus money
plays or the lock of the day.
Money, could be lock of the day. Anything. Gun to your head to survive. This has to hit.
Tell the people yours while I look at the lines again.
I think my lock of the day. I was gonna think about mine while you were going, but I think my lock of the day is Kings Blues over 5.5. If there was a gun to my head, I'd say over 5 so I can push and get another chance. But over 5.5. Over 5.5 seems juicy to me.
Maybe they'll shoot you in the leg if it hits 5. Gun to my head, I'd probably take the. I think I'd take the. What the hell is it called? The Panthers team total over 3. I think that I wouldn't do 3.5 because there's a gun to my head, but I think there's a good chance 3.5 hits as well. But it looks like over 3 is now a plus money play actually now too at plus 102. So
that's wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's Minnesota wild. Sorry, continue.
The king of puns, but I think that I would do over 3 because win or lose this team when they're first facing a team or like it's the first game of the series, they score goals and Kadubin's back in net. I don't know if I botched that name or not, but
Qdoba, either way, same shit.
Qdoba, Mexican food, whatever. Over 3 plus 102. Book it. I know you usually like that, but I'm not sure if you heard me.
I love it. Book it. I wish we had like a sound effect thing I could slam, but we don't. That is it. Play the over on that. Do not play the under. Please don't play the under. You want to die with the bullet to your head? Don't play the under.
That'd be stressful enough betting the under, let alone knowing you're gonna die if they don't score. Like that'd put pressure on the players too, honestly.
Best value on Anders Lee shots on goal. I'd say over 3.5. I mean, the Sabres let up shots. If Carter Hutton is in net, which I think it's Olmark, if Hutton's in net, slam Andrsley to score, please. Hutton sucks. If Olmark's in, you could do over 3.5 shots. 4.5. It's hard to get 5 shots in hockey if you're not Austin Matthews. I'd say over 3.5. Play it safe.
And if you're gonna go 4.5, you should go Kadri to score instead at that similar value.
Yeah, I agree. Well, that does it for today. 35 minutes in. Winter Wire, Josh, thank you so much for filling in Nicky Picks' shoes. Follow us on Book It, whatever you want to do.
I don't know if you'll see Nicky Picks again because he told me to take the under in the Brooklyn game. That's why he's not here.
Nicky Picks will be back with us on Wednesday. Most likely will be Josh again tomorrow if he's available. But we shall see what we're going to do. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I love doing this show.
You got a lot of interaction. It's a great thing. I
love the show.
Nice
we got great people in the comments. Good insight, good conversations, great coffee, most importantly, which we will have back tomorrow. We all have my coffee. Rye Cape, enjoy your Black Wawa coffee. Shaheem, thanks for tuning in. Sooner or later, you'll have to come on an NHL game show and try and take me on, but we'll talk about that later.
Big ups to Jack. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, Jack, good stuff.
Huge fan.
Everyone else, SBK, everyone else that we've seen here. I don't know if I'm missing any names, but thanks for tuning in. I'll put my official plays in the Discord very shortly, and we will see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow. As always, if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.